Welcome back, everybody, to Dano Loves Music. This is episode 3 of my lifelong project of talking about every single hit song that has ever hit the charts from A to Z. We're going to spend some time here talking about some hit songs that begin with the letter D. And if you've been with us the first 2 episodes, you know that our songs span the spectrum from pop to rap to rock and roll to country, and we're gonna talk about 10 more songs. We're at the beginning of the letter D. We're gonna talk about 10. One of these songs is a bona fide 5-star classic, one of my favorite songs of all time. Which one is it? You'll find out. But we're still at the very beginning of the letter D. The first song that I'm going to talk about today is DJ Keep Playing by a singer whose name is Yvette Michele. Yvette Michele was a 90s R&B pop singer who only had one hit album, and she's a Brooklyn-based New York singer. The song was DJ Keep Playing, Get Your Music On. She had 3 top hits. She only made one album back then, and this song hit number 84 on the charts back in 1997. It was, of her 3 hit songs, this was the most minor of the 3. It's the only one that has not had a million streams on Spotify. The other 2 were much bigger. This song, mid-tempo, really good song. I'd give it a good solid 3.5 stars. Check it out on YouTube if you want. She references some of the pioneers of hip hop in the song, like Kool Herc and Grandmaster Flash. But the other two hits were a little bit bigger. I don't know what happened to her. It's been almost 30 years. She may have gone to another avenue. I couldn't find out anything more about Yvette Michele, but she's a fine singer. Anyway, that was the first of our hits. Song number 2 of our 10 songs that we're going to be talking about today is a much more famous singer, movie star named Jamie Foxx. I might know him. Born Eric Marlin Bishop, changed his name to Jamie Foxx and went on to become a famous actor. Started off in Living Color, of course, but also won an Oscar as the title character of legendary singer Ray Charles. This was one of his songs from 2006 that made the charts and hit number 45. This song is called DJ Play a Love Song. I'm not a real big fan of Jamie Foxx. Great actor, not so much a big fan of his music career. He had 10 songs that made the charts on the Hot 100. This one of his more middling songs. His big songs that hit the charts were Unpredictable and Blame It on the what's the name? Blame It On. I don't remember the name of that song. But of course, his biggest song was Gold Digger, that he featured with Kanye West. And then he kind of tapered off his singing career. Kind of went south a little bit later on while he has kept up as an actor. Not a big fan of Jamie. I'd give this song just 2 stars. It's pretty forgettable. DJ Play a Love Song, pretty standard fare for the mid-aughts. Third song, much better. It's one of the classics from K-Dot himself, Kendrick Lamar, DNA, from his classic album, Damn. This song was a number 4 hit back in 2017, and this is a solid 5-star. Actually, looking at it now, we have 2 5-star songs on this that I'm going to be talking about today. This song, DNA, just one of those bangers that come from that album. The other big, great song, Humble, I really love from that album from Kendrick Lamar. It contains the great Rick James, a sample from a great Rick James song, Mary Jane. And oh my God, the flow. Does anybody have the flow that Kendrick Lamar has? I don't know if anybody does, but this was a number 4 hit in 2017. A great video. Check it out. And DNA, I can't believe this song is almost 10 years old, but there you have it. Another song called DNA came out the very same year from another, I guess you could call him legendary now, the K-pop band, BTS. This was actually called DNA. This was actually their first entry on the Hot 100. This hit number 67 back in 2017. DNA, this is their first Hot 100 hit. They've had many hits since then. Classic number one hits like Dynamite and Butter, which I love a lot more than this song. Although I do like this song quite a bit. I'd give this a soft 4 stars. This was their first venture toward the EDM. I guess some of their real early stuff was more in the hip hop vein. And this was the song that I think was the first song by them that I had heard. And at least here in the States, it kind of really launched their phenomenon. They do have a new album that just came out about a month ago. I haven't really listened to it yet. I'm going to have to check it out. They were, of course, away for military service for the past few years while they were they had launched some of their solo careers. Are they as popular as they ever were? I don't know. I guess we'll find out, see how they do now. They, I think tomorrow, their latest song, Swim, is number 1 on the Billboard charts as we speak. BTS with DNA. And let's move on with not a DNA, DND, Do Not Disturb, from rapper Polo G, who's one of the more current trap superstars, Polo G. And this was a number 84 hit in the year of the pandemic, 2020. Taurus Bartlett is his born name, but he goes by Polo G, and this was his 3rd Hot 100 hit. And his big number 1 hit back then was Rap Star was a number 1 hit for them. I like this song. He's also got a pretty decent flow. I have not heard a lot of his stuff, but this is one of the few that I have heard. I'd give this a good solid 3.5 stars. And this is just documenting his life. DND, Polo G. I'm sure he's one of those hip hop artists. When he drops an album, quite a few of the tracks hit pretty high on the charts, and he is still very, very young. He's in his 20s. I'm sure we'll be hearing a lot more of his stuff as we work our way through the alphabet. DOA by the Foo Fighters, legendary rock and roll Hall of Famer, the Foo Fighters. DOA is from their 2005 album, their 5th album, In Your Honor, one of their tried and true rock albums. This was a number 1 rock hit on the rock charts. We have the Hot 100. We also have the rock charts that we're going to occasionally be focusing on some of those songs. It was number 68 on the Hot 100 that year. And again, not one of my top tier Foo Fighter hits, like Learning to Fly or, one of their early songs. I really love their first album that they came out with back in the mid 90s. But this is pretty standard fare DOA from the Foo Fighters, and they're obviously still going strong. I think, from what I understand, they've had more chart success on the mainstream rock charts than any artist. They are that dependable when it comes to making hits on rock radio. I don't listen to a lot of rock radio. I haven't listened to rock radio probably in a good solid 35, 40 years, but for those who do, they are very, very dependable, and this is right in those lines. 4 more songs I'm going to talk about today, and they're some of my favorite songs, including this one by a German band from the early 80s, 1982 on the UK charts. This was a number 2 hit. Did not chart here in the States, but you heard it on the radio back then. I was in my teens when this was a hit. And it is memorable as all get out. The song is called Da Da Da, parentheses, I don't love you, you don't love me, aha, aha, aha. If you've ever watched commercials, it's quite often used in commercials throughout the years. Volkswagen commercial, especially in the 90s. It was quite, was it in the 90s? I don't know, but it is memorable. I'm sure it's been memed to death, and probably in all sorts of TikTok videos. Oh, the band is called Trio, 3 German dudes who know how to use a good hook and hit you hard with it. Very simple German pop beat. I'm sure there's a name for the genre that they used back in the early 80s, but they had a few hits off that album back in Europe, but they did not hit it here. But I guarantee you, if you were listening to college rock or more edgy rock radio back in the early 80s, this song you did definitely hear. Da Da Da, and it is a great song. It is a solid 4.5. I'd give it a 4.5 star. Oh man, should I give it 5? Okay, I'll give it 5. There are 3 5-star songs today. It is probably the best episode we've done so far as classic great songs, including the next one, a song that probably, once I'd have to look at my spreadsheet, goes down in my top 200 songs of all time. The classic Crystals with Da Do Run Run. If you're following the alphabet, you know that we're in the da 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 da, and this song is Da Do Run Run by the Crystals, a legendary Phil Spector produced band. Five girl singers that I think belong in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I don't know if they'll ever get a chance to join the Ronettes or the Shirelles in that hallowed hall. But this Brooklyn Quintet, they had a handful of great songs back in the day. And heck, they were on the greatest Christmas album of all time, the Phil Spector Christmas album. They had 3 top 10 hits. And this was a number 3 hit back in 1963. This is about as 5-star as you're going to get. Talk about a song, not only the wall of sound, the anthemic symphonic teenage symphony to God that was so prevalent in those days, but the basic lyrics. Met him on a Monday and my heart stood still. To do run, 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 to do run, run. Somebody told me that his name was Bill. And then just the story from meeting him to falling in love. One day soon I'm going to make him mine. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that for a 2.5-minute pop song. In fact, it doesn't get much better than that. The next 2 songs were cover versions of that song. Not nearly as good. They tried, but they did not come close to that. The first stab at cover version of that song was by a member of the English folk group Fairport Convention. His name is Ian Matthews. He hit number 96 with a cover version of Da Do Run Run in 1972. And that's fine. It's a good three-star cover version. He didn't do the gender swap on it, so he kept it Met him on a Monday and My Heart Stood Still, which is fine. It's just a curiosity of it. And again, it's a fine cover, but it did not go anywhere near. It's interesting how some of these early Jeff Berry, Ellie Greenwich songs, Jeff Berry, have to mention the songwriters, Jeff Berry and Ellie Greenwich, so many great songs from the Brill Building era of the early 60s. A lot of those songs, a lot of people covered them and a lot of hit versions of them. But according to my research, only three versions of Da Do Run Run hit the charts in this way, including our 10th song that we're going to talk about today is another Da Do Run Run, a cover version. And the first time I actually ever heard this song in my teenage years was a cover version by poster boy Sean Cassidy. Hit number 1 in the USA in 1977 with Da Do Run Run. Sean Cassidy, the one and only son of Shirley Jones of the Partridge Family. And Sean Cassidy as a teenage heartthrob hit with his version of Da Do Run Run. Just a really marshmallow version of the song. Met her on a Sunday. Her name was Jill. And just a teeny bopper version. You know, I was a teenager. I thought this was I knew it was a catchy song. I hadn't yet heard the classic original. I'd give this 2.5 stars. Sean Cassidy, of course, had a very short run on the charts, nowhere near as long as his half-brother David Cassidy, who was also a teeny bopper. Sean Cassidy had 4 hits on the charts. They were all cover versions. He had That's Rock and Roll and Hey Deanie, which were cover versions of the great songwriter Eric Carmen. And his other big hit was Do You Believe in Magic, a Lovin' Spoonful cover. So he had some great cover songs, but his fame, at least on the pop charts, was fleeting. So there are your 10 songs. 3 of them are good, solid 5-star classics, which are gonna, should go on anybody's playlist. We had DNA by Kendrick. We had Da 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 by Trio and Da Do Run Run by the Crystals. 3 very different songs from 3 very different eras. And that's what I like to highlight. I like to highlight the variety of music that touches our lives throughout the ages. And that's what we like to talk about here is pop music. And every handful of days, hopefully I'll be making videos to talk about how we are working our way through the alphabet. And hopefully as these videos become more polished, better produced and more engaging. I'd love to hear your comments. I'd love to have you like and subscribe and share and whatever you like to do to talk about music. Dano Loves Music is my handle here and on other platforms all over the place. Blue Sky, Twitter, some people call it X. Also, I'm on Threads, I'm on Instagram. I'm just about everywhere. You can find me. And anyway, so I think my next video, I might want to be talking about one of my other loves is to talk about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I think the inductions are going to be coming up soon, so maybe my next video, I'd like to maybe talk about the 17 nominees and give you my favorites. So that might be a little bit something different, but after that, we'll get right back to the D songs. Moving up on the daddies, I think would be next. Anyway, thank you for taking some time if you made it this far into the video, and we will talk to you next time. Have a good night. Take care.